Hey guys, Doug B here. Now a few weeks ago, I did a review of Rhett Shull's preset pack for the AXFX3, and most of the comments on that basically came down to the same comment/question. Didn't he just tweak factory presets? And does he really think it's okay to sell them like that? Now it's pretty hard to disagree with that sentiment, especially when Rhett Shull said himself this right in his own review of the AXFX3. At the 228 mark, when it shows one of his presets on the screen, he says, "With the AXFX though, the stock presets are really solid. They're musical. They're usable." And at the 311 mark, when it again shows one of his presets on the screen, he says, "This is a preset that I made off of a stock preset. I started with the stock Maz 38 preset and then tweaked all the parameters to my liking and came up with this." Okay, ouch. It is definitely not cool to sell presets that are just tweaked from factory presets. And yeah, the one that's shown on the screen is one of them that he sells in his preset pack. Now, if he wanted to post it to AxChange, I mean, that's cool, right? I mean, that's the perfect place for something like that. But surely he didn't do that to any more of his presets, right? I mean, if it's just one preset, that's kind of bad, but it's not too horrible, is it? Well, I used to be a programmer analyst in a former life, and right now we're snowed in with more than a foot of fresh snow. So what better time to dig into the data? Now, as I mentioned in my review of his presets, it comes with 10 presets, and I think there's like 26 scenes. I liked around half of it, and I think I said that I would use maybe 4 or 5 of his presets again. So I opened AxEdit, looked at his presets, and then looked to see what I could find out of the stock factory presets that might be matches for his. Well, I found 9 right away. I mean, a handful of them were named exactly the same, and then the others were close. There was only one that I couldn't find a match. I mean, so now I was really intrigued. Were those comments right? Did he really just tweak the factory presets? So I typed up my notes and did my research in between doing all that shoveling. I'm one of those guys that does not wait to shovel until the end. I was not going to go out there and shovel 14 inches of snow. I break it up so I do like a couple inches at a time. So, and I have a pretty long driveway, front sidewalk. I do the neighbor's yard and everything. So it takes me around an hour, maybe 45 minutes to an hour to shovel. Then I would come back up here to the studio, do research for another hour, go back out and shovel, come back, do more research, etc., etc. It was a nice way to break up the day. It didn't break my brain doing all that data research, and it didn't break my back or give me a heart attack doing the shoveling, so it was all good. But back to the presets. Let's see what the data says. So as you can see, I really didn't do a spreadsheet, I just did a data sheet. I've listed Rhett Shull's presets on the left, and if there's a comparable factory preset, that's listed on the right. So the 64 top boost, Rhett has 4 scenes. The names for his 4 scenes are the same as the first 4 scenes in the factory version. Now, if the fractal version is preset 6, top boost, it has 8 scenes. It uses the same amps and channels. Rhett basically just copied the amp block for this, but he did make different settings. So considering that Rhett doesn't have an FC controller, I find it odd that he has unused blocks in his presets. The factory presets have them there for use with an FC controller. You can turn them on and off in the effects layout. But Rhett didn't even acknowledge the existence of the FC controller, so like I said, odd. That's just my opinion. His amp block has the same 4 amps, but the settings are different. His cab blocks are very similar. Are those some of his tweaks? His reverb settings are almost exactly the same, with only 5 of the 16 parameters having different values. His preset uses around 51% of the CPU, while the factory preset uses 61%. My take? He copied the factory preset, deleted the last 4 scenes, and simplified the layout. On originality, I give him 1 out of 5. Now here again we have his version, the AC20 Deluxe, from the factory version. Here's preset number 17, AC20 Deluxe. His has 4 scenes, and again, his 4 scene names are the same as the first 4 scene names in the factory version. The factory version has 8 scenes, uses the same amps. Again, the amp block is the same, but his settings are different. Now, same thoughts about the unused blocks in his presets. His amp block has the same 4 amps, but the settings are different, and his presets use around 66% of the CPU, while the factory preset uses 58%. My take, he copied the factory preset, deleted the last 4 scenes, and made quite a few changes to the remaining 4 scenes. Originality, 2 out of 5. Okay, now we're looking at the Orange AD30, factory version, preset 104, Citrus A30. He has 2 scenes, and the scene names are almost the same as the first 2 scene names in the factory version. The factory version, again, preset number 104, Citrus A30, has 8 scenes, same amps, but different settings. They both use the same cabs, and they're both using studio reverb, but with different settings. Again, same thoughts about the unused blocks in his presets. There's 8 blocks and he only uses 3. His amp block has the same 2 amps, but the settings are different. His cabs are the same. His reverb settings are similar, with half of the parameters having different values. His preset uses around 50% of the CPU, while the factory uses 55%. My take, he copied the factory preset, deleted the last 4 scenes, and simplified the preset. Originality, 1 out of 5. And now for the DC30. His uses 3 scenes, factory preset number 78, DC30. It has 8 scenes. Again, same thoughts about the unused blocks in his presets. His amp block is similar, but the settings are different. His cabs are very similar. His preset uses around 52% of the CPU, while the factory uses 53%. My take, he copied the factory preset again, deleted the last 5 scenes, and made quite a few changes. Originality, 2 out of 5. And now we get the Deluxe Tweed. His version is called Deluxe Tweed. The factory version, preset number 59, is called Deluxe Tweed. His has 2 scenes. Now the factory version, again, preset number 59, has 8 scenes. Same amps as him, but with different settings. Now his preset name is the same as the factory version. His amp block is the same, but the settings are different. His cabs are very similar. His preset uses around 33% of the CPU, while the factory uses 56%. My take, again, he copied the factory preset, deleted the last 6 scenes, and simplified the preset. Originality, 1 out of 5. The FTR37 preset. This appears to be the only original preset that Rhett Shull created for his FX3 preset pack. I couldn't find any factory preset that used a divided by 13 amp, and I really, really like this preset. What he should do is go in and make presets of different, like of some of the boutique amps, and make his versions. But that's just my take. The JTM45, okay, factory preset number 49. JM45. His uses 3 scenes, and here's the factory preset number 49, JM45. It has 8 scenes. It uses, again, the same amps, but different settings. Again, same thoughts about the unused blocks in his presets. His preset name is almost the same as the factory version. His amp block is the same, but the settings are different. His reverbs are very similar. His preset uses around 48% of the CPU, while the factory preset uses 46%. My take, he copied the factory preset, deleted 5 scenes, reworked 3 scenes, and simplified the preset. Originality, 2 out of 5. And now the Mr. Z38. Again, there is a factory version, and it has the same name. His version uses 3 scenes. The factory preset, 6 scenes. Same amps, different settings. And again, the same thoughts about the unused blocks in his preset. Why are there 9 blocks, but he only uses 4? His preset name is the same as the factory version. His amp block is the same, but the settings are different. His cabs are almost the same. His second reverb is exactly the same. His preset uses around 51% of the CPU, while the factory preset uses 47%. My take, he copied the factory preset, deleted 3 scenes, and reworked 3 scenes. Now this is the preset that he talks about in his video, where he says that he took a stock preset and tweaked all of the parameters. Originality, 1 out of 5. His preset called 2 Rock, here's the factory version, 2 Stone J35. His has 2 scenes. The production version, Preset number 51, Two-Stone J35. It uses 8 scenes, same amps as Rhett, but with different settings. Again, same thoughts about the unused blocks in his presets. 8 blocks and he uses 4. His amp block is the same, but the settings are different. His cabs are almost the same. His preset uses around 58% of the CPU, and the factory preset also uses 58%. My take, he copied the factory preset, deleted 8 scenes, and reworked 2 scenes. Originality, 1 out of 5. Okay, Rhett Shull's Whole Lotta, factory version, Whole Lotta. His uses 1 scene. He's using the Supremo Trem amp, factory preset 79, Whole Lotta, 7 scenes. It uses the same amp, but with different settings. Same thoughts about all those unused blocks in his presets. His preset name is the same as the factory version. His amp block is the same, but the settings are different. His cabs are almost the same. His preset uses around 38% of the CPU, while the factory preset uses 47%. Now, my take, he copied the factory preset, deleted 6 scenes, and reworked 1 scene. Now, for what it's worth, according to Guitar World from November 2020, the Supro amp was not used on this song. Jimmy Page says that he used a Vox Super Beetle amp head with Rickenbacker transonic cabinets on Whole Lotta Love. So there you have it. Originality, 1 out of 5. So he got a total 17 points out of a possible 50. So Rhett gets 34% on originality. So there you have it, guys. For Rhett Shull's Axe FX3 preset pack, 17 points out of a possible 50 points for originality. That is not good. Only 1 preset was original, and like I said, that was one of the 4 or 5 of his presets that I really, really liked and will definitely use again. That divided by 13 preset, it's really cool. But, you know, Rhett Shull might consider taking this preset pack down off of his website because Fractal could come down on him big time for just copying stock presets like that. Heck, they might even take their loaner Axe FX3 back, the one that they lent him 2.5 years ago. So next Wednesday, I'll be doing part 2 of my review of Fremen's Pink Floyd preset pack. Now, you don't want to miss that, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. All right, guys, see you next Wednesday.